Well, welcome to the Beyond Cinema studio up here at Tiff. Sharon, Mr. Tommy Oliver, Troi, and Hill. Firstly, congratulations on the film. It's pretty epic.
Thank you.
You know, for you, Tommy, I mean, you've been producing a bunch of stuff lately. To have your signature all over this as writer and director and producer, how's it feel in order to be able to bring these people together and have this kind of amazing, outing yesterday?
Euphoric. It's been absolutely amazing. The response is far more than I know I could have imagined, and it's just been a phenomenal experience, to be able to share it with so many people who are talented and work their behinds off, and to have it culminate at a place like this in a way in which it did yesterday was just nothing short of amazing.
And Hill, for you, obviously, you spend a lot of time on the screen looking at yourself or not looking at yourself. I'm not sure how you deal with that situation. Are you good at watching your performances on screen?
I sort of, I guess, distance myself from it in a sense because I'm attempting to look at it as a film, as a body of work, and not necessarily because there's so many takes and so many cuts. So it's hard to, you're more looking at iterations of cuts and what was used, what was not used in the storytelling and all that. And at the end of the day, I get so blown away by Sharon and Troi in the film that all I do is watch their work because they are exemplary and they're amazing, and I would rather sit back and watch them.
They are definitely gut-punching performances, or side-tickling as the case may be. But for you, Hill, I mean, your body language in the film as well is like completely different. You've got this shuffle, that's going on in there. It's like that a sign of the times, or a guy oppressed, or...
Well, I wanted to represent, it's interesting you notice that, I don't know if a lot of people, hopefully they just get it a little subconsciously, so start the film, shoulders are hunched over a little bit of a hunchback, a little bit of a slower shuffle, a little bit of a guy who's worked his ass off but really never seen the benefits of it. And then over time, the challenge, he has to step into his manhood at some point. And so by the time he makes a pretty drastic step, you see his shoulders are back, his chest is a little bit more upright, and he's less hunched over, but he's more chest out. He's gonna have to fight for his family, and then of course in the last scene I got a little Jerry curl going on. That's a sign of times too. So Jerry curl. If you're not confident with the curl, then what can you be? And Troy's rocking her Jerry curl today too.
Troi, how was it for you? I mean, some pretty intense emotional stuff. Did Tommy, did Hill, did they spend time with you before the shoot, or did they just make sure it was super quiet for you?
I ignored her the entire movie.
Yeah, he definitely.
He's super mean.
I mean, he completely ignored me, and it was really sad.
It was sad.
No, but I actually, it was a little bit challenging for me because the content in it is very intense and very sensitive and very emotional. But I think really all the research I needed was Mr. Tommy Oliver, because it's his story, and he really helped me connect with the character. And Mr. Hill Harper was able to help me also and give me much advice. And Miss Sharon Leal, she definitely made it even more real because she was really in character for most of the time. So
You should ask her what her nickname is.
What her nickname is on set? What's your nickname?
No, our nickname.
Oh, what's them? Do you have a nickname for each of them?
yeah, no, our nickname. We made it like a team, and it's called Team Awesome. Me and him.
Team Awesome.
Yes.
Pretty rough.
I was a part of the team.
You're not part of
You were not a part of Sharon.
This is an elite team.
Maybe you need to release a different book then, letters to a young brother. Maybe needed to do letters to a young Team Awesome chick.
Awesome. Supergirl.
Yeah, it's installment number 2. Sharon, I mean, having this really kind of complex character, to be able to turn your back on a kid during a film.
Yeah.
You've got a kid in real life, right?
Yes, I do.
So in order to kind of come to that place for you, what was that journey?
Right. Well, definitely not Mom of the Year, right? She's definitely not the best mother, but it was. I think it was just. She's just amazing. So we were just so lucky to have this amazing kid that just is focused and just has it all and is so smart and. It was all in the paper too. I mean, and Tommy, because it was his mother, I had that to kind of pull from, and if there were any questions or anything, and I think we just, as a collaborative team, we just really worked well with each other. I think there was a lot of that, and Tommy gave us the freedom to just sort of see where things took us. We took liberties in that respect. So, yeah.
How hard was it to maintain objectivity on set when you've got these people kind of reenacting certain things that might have happened to you growing up?
For me, the script wasn't precious at all. I really didn't care what was written on the page, even though I had written it. It was more about finding moments that were true and honest to what was going on. I never wanted somebody to say a line they didn't understand. You didn't know why you were saying it. It's not going to come out as true. So what feels right? What's going on? I also tended to throw a lot of curveballs where I told one actor one thing, another actor another thing, and you'd have, them responding to... Yep. They had no choice but to respond to the stimuli at that point. And so we just had a really good team, like Sharon said. And
it did feel fresh. It felt, yeah.
And what made you think of Wayne Brady? I know we chatted a little off camera before. I'm like, what did you see him on the Chappelle show? And go, I need that guy to do that stuff.
It's funny. The script was actually written entirely before the idea of Wayne Brady came up, and I actually didn't see the Chappelle skit until after we were done shooting, so I had no idea. People kept telling me about it, but either way, it was a suggestion of my manager, Danny Sherman, and he and I met, and he was really interested in the role and was passionate about it, and was meeting with a couple other people, and he just wound up being the right guy.
Yeah.
I think the idea of Against the Green casting is a lot of fun, and you can really do a lot with it.
And you don't see it a lot with African American actors. I think a lot of us get pigeonholed. We all kind of, for Hill, myself, I know I kind of play the same pulled up sort of woman, and Hill totally just stepped completely outside of, was a complete departure from what we're used to seeing him, and Wayne as well. That's really exciting. I think the three of us really went a whole other way because Tommy facilitated that.
I think that's exactly right. You look at Sharon, she's about as beautiful as you can get, and you see this progression, or you see this sort of transition from being beautiful, lovely, amazing to downtrodden and
cracked out.
Yeah.
As a cracked out piggy bank.
Very much so. And so that dichotomy, it makes it not necessarily easier, but it's something that really helps you understand, because you've already got this understanding of who Sharon is as a person and all of what you know about her and how she looks, and then to see where she goes. Same thing with Hill. You take this persona that Hill has as a person, being, Harvard educated, really smart, really good at what he does, and he becomes this salt of the earth, just good guy who wears Dickies every day, and it's just a huge sort of shift.
Yeah, a little shift from Harvard Law School or Brown to running a laundromat.
One quarter at a time.
That's right, one quarter at a time. It is interesting picking up these little references, like you talk about Chappelle Show, but for coloured girls, for you, Alonzo, aka Wayne Brady, did a little short called For Stuffed Coloured Girls. You ever seen that on Funny or Die? You should watch that. That is hilarious stuff. So it's kind of like these
looking
moments.
Right there is my wife, and for Color Girls, she's looking right at me.
Hello, Miss Carrie.
Carrie Williams. Yes.
Very cool. Why Black Squirrel?
Wow. That actually started back at Carnegie Mellon. Have you ever seen a black squirrel?
Yeah, I saw one last night here in Toronto.
Wow. Yeah. Most people have no idea they exist, and the first time I saw one, it freaked me the hell out. But the idea was, most people have no idea they exist. Most people have no idea my production company, or sort of former production company, because Hilly and I have one which is much more active. But the idea was, we were behind the scenes trying to do good stuff, no fanfare, no red tape, just looking to do good stuff without the usual sort of pomp and circumstance that goes along with it.
And all the thank yous, there was like a sort of shout out to Omar Benson Miller and Boris Kojo.
Mm-hmm. So Omar Benson Miller, he actually came out and he was on set for a couple of days, and we shot some stuff, and it was hilarious. Like, dude is funny as hell. Just want him not making the final cut. Boris, we sat down, we had a great conversation for about probably 2 hours. He was one of the people who was interested in playing the Alonzo character, and wound up with being Wayne, but he had some really smart and cogent insights that wound up sort of shifting the character a little bit, and so I was very appreciative to him and to that conversation.
And what was it like for you guys shooting in Philly? I sort of gave a big shout out to the city of Philly.
Awesome. Philadelphia itself to me, at least for me, my experience is that it's a character of the film. At least it informed my work. You know, Philly is a hard scrabble city, and and to me that represents the character of Tim. You know, it's like if you go to Philly, it represents the way Tim speaks. You know, I got the voice from meeting people like, you know, Tommy's friend Scoop. You know, a lot of the brothers in Philly, they drop their voice down here, and it's kind of like an armor because they don't want to come off soft. Never gonna come off soft. And so Philly, you wear an armor. You know, I for a while lived in Oakland, and Oakland has a different type of armor. They don't use their voice that same way, but Philly, part of what Philly brothers have is they use their voice as part of their armor, and you know, so you learn a lot. Plus, I did a cheesesteak tour.
This guy is obsessed with cheesesteaks.
That's all
He
we've
went
heard
to.
about.
Are there like two across the road from each other that have like this?
Oh, no.
Those are tourists. That's
Those
tourists.
are tourist
That's
traps.
Pat's and Geno's. That's
No.
tourists. I went to authentic.
This was very
The
serious.
real.
He took it.
cheesesteak.
Investigative.
I
What's
was
He went to like 8 cheesesteak
What's the
places.
number one?
Max's.
number one by far is
Max's.
the one deep in the hood. Max's cheesesteak.
Bro and Harry.
The brother out front, the bouncer wears a bulletproof vest. He's
No,
not
it's in the hood. It's like
No
you
joke.
don't like.
So how many
what
places
about
did you go to?
I went to at least, I think, 15.
Wow.
Is it that many?
I think
Even
so.
the
Holy
vegetarian
crap.
place,
I
right?
went to the vegetarian cheesesteak place.
It's part of like putting on a little extra weight for that early shuffle that you can beat off at the end. Yeah.
That's not commitment. I don't know what is.
No, that's very cool.
And we eat a Jim's cheesesteak in the movie, she and I. It's a wonderful scene where we actually
Right.
eat a Jim's cheesesteak.
Yeah, you hand her special
Yeah.
favorite dish.
I was a little bit disgusted with myself when I saw the way I was eating. It's kind of gross.
She
That was your character eating that way. That wasn't.
Yeah.
No, like
No,
she
I
was
know.
hungry because Tommy didn't have any food on the set.
Yeah, she was just
We
humming.
didn't have it in the budget.
Well, you know, maybe next time.
Next time.
Next time you can have her sing an original stylistics number. Very cool. Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. We appreciate it. Congrats on the film. Really, really good stuff.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much.